Hey, what's going on YouTube? It is time for me to do my Dark Visions 27 ticket summon. I've got 14 tickets just like usual, and Neo Visions in the pool for this one include Rykard and Dragoon, or rather, Rykard and Wyvern. My goodness, it's early and I'm like stumbling over words. Samurai Chizuru, Ultimate Regina, and Sage of Thunder Sakura. So you know, those are the ones that we can see here on the banner. I would be excited about more Rykard, more Regina, and I think I'm like one or maybe two away from EX3 Sage of Thunder. Chizuru would not be the best one for me to pick just because I do already have her at EX3, but you know, we're gonna see. And as usual, we'll talk a little bit about Dark Visions this season and how it has been for a player like me. Yeah, we'll go ahead and dive right into that, and we'll start with our very first ticket. Dark Visions. So at the end of last season, I really was kind of like over Dark Visions. There was just so much drama, you know, multiple issues and closings and score resets and blah, 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 blah. And it just felt like it just dragged on and on and on. It dragged on so long that it went into Clash of Wills, you know, so like, it was just a huge headache. Oh yay, we're off to a great start. It was a huge headache, and the thought of getting back into Dark Visions was for me just like overwhelming. Like I just kind of didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to deal with any more Dark Visions. This Dark Visions was a little unique in that we, instead of having to duke it out for like ranked based rewards, it was basically all just milestone rewards, and the ranked rewards didn't really matter that much. So at its core, the average player was going to be able to get a lot more lapis than they normally did. Even if they didn't get every single reward, they were going to get more than they normally did, probably. And that, I think, was pretty cool. So, you know, I'm probably in that category of got a lot more lapis than I normally get out of Dark Visions, even if I didn't get all the rank rewards. Last time I looked, I was something like rank 1,600 because I just didn't really feel that motivated to push that hard. I did a clear on like day 2 of the final boss and haven't really touched it since. This is another case of if you have the units that help you do the damage, then you're good. If you don't, then you don't. I don't happen to have a Melissa. So without Melissa, you know, it's a lot harder to hit that cap. With Melissa, it's much easier. I have all the other units that people were using for you know, normal rank 1, getting all the completion rewards. But you know, missing Melissa kind of like shuts down most of the strategies that people were posting. Switching to different elements was not really as effective because of the number of dark units that had 150% amplifies. And yeah, it just didn't really line up the way I wanted to, but that's okay. Like I've said before, I'm not super competitive about Dark Visions. It's just, you know, it's just not my cup of tea. This Dark Visions is a lot closer to Clash of Wills though, because it has, you know, measurable, targetable rewards. If you get all the points that you need to get the certain tier of rewards that you want, it's just about doing that damage, and you know, meeting the other criteria. Man, we're doing really bad. Meeting the other criteria. We're 5 tickets deep, and have gotten nothing but blues and yellows. So wow, cool. So it was more like Clash of Wills than Dark Visions in that sense, but still, you know, Dark Visions fights are basically just like hit the boss as hard as you can and don't take damage, and that's not very exciting compared to something like Clash of Wills. That upgraded, cool. So hopefully this is going to go all the way, and it's going to be like a Regina, maybe. It was not. So yeah, in that respect, it was, I think, better than a normal Dark Visions. I definitely got more lapis out of Dark Visions than I normally do. So for me, that's pretty cool. But I know that players who like, you know, pushing really hard for that you know, rank 50 or better, you know, they would probably be a little disappointed in how the rewards work, because they're going to get ultimately less. And I think this is a good example, a good case of you can't please everybody. You just can't. And Dark Visions being the competitive playground, I think should be more geared towards people who are supporting the game and are spending their resources to be able to do well on the event, and things like that. If you're aiming at it, you should be able to do well at it. Even if you can't be, you know, top score every time, you should be able to do what you want to do. And I think this one just wasn't. And I'm also a little sad to hear from people who know what's coming next that the next Dark Visions is going to be another Riku Fest, because that again will be another source of frustration for people who you know, spend to be able to play the event the way they want to play it. Unless they spent on Riku, oh well, you're not going to do well. And that's no different than here though. Like if you didn't spend on Melissa, oh well, you're going to have a hard time doing well. If you didn't, and then the one before it, Riku, it's just like, this is how Dark Visions works. And Clash of Wills is in a lot of ways the same way. You know, you have to have a large number of units that all focus on that mechanic, the morale mechanic. The difference being, you know, with Clash of Wills, you get free units pretty much every 3 months. Some of those are better than others, but you can kind of use those to collect your resources over time. You know, units that you invest in are going to last you for multiple Clash of Wills. You know, I've used Kaito and Roberta and Esther and Sylvie on multiple months worth of content. Whereas, you know, if you just pulled for a Dark Visions unit, you know, you might get 1 Dark Visions out of them. You might get 2 Dark Visions out of them. And maybe even not. So it's like, I just feel like the Clash of Wills system is more my speed as a player. And also the units have a longer shelf life. So they're more fun to invest in and chase after. I'm, you know, currently looking at, you know, I'm looking to see what Dwayne's numbers look like tomorrow, because I would like to, you know, maybe pull for Dwayne. I still want Rain. I don't have a Flaring Ether Rain yet. But at this point, I also don't like chasing premiums. So at this point, I'd rather chase after Dwayne, even if he's like a subpar version of Rain. I don't know. I want to see the numbers, but I feel better dropping 48 and getting what I want than 60 and potentially not getting what I want. It just feels better, you know. And there's a vision card. There's a nice vision card on Dwayne Step Up. So yeah, man, we are 2 tickets left, and this has gone really badly. These tickets for me almost always go badly. The time I got a Riku was kind of random and awesome, but yeah, it's not happening. Ooh, we got that Wild Rose Furion though. That's a nice STMR. You're gonna get something out of the let's see, the 5 stars. Yeah, Furion's probably the best one out of the ones that they're showing on the screen. When we get Konshira's upgrade for her STMR, that's good. But the rest are just like, these are all NVAs, and they are all, well, this one's not NVA. Womp womp. These are all NVAs, and their fragments are available in the EX coins. These are all NVAs. Their fragments are available for EX coins. So, what's up? All right, last ticket. Yeah. So I guess, am I excited for Clash of Wills tomorrow? Yes, I absolutely am. Am I excited for more Dark Visions? I never really am. I like to try and like, I get a little competitive with people, like, but the reality is I don't spend the way they do. A lot of people that I interact with, I don't spend like they do, so it's hard for me to compete with them. You know, I like competing with other free players. That would be kind of cool if you could go into like a free bracket or a paid bracket. I'd be somewhere in the middle. But there you go. 14 tickets down, 14 tickets down the toilet is what it was, and no Neo Visions. And yeah, hopefully the next summon string that I do will do better. And that, depending on the numbers, maybe tomorrow, live on Twitch, trying to get Dark Knight Dwayne. And depending on how that goes, there may be a chance that I'm going to be throwing some Lapis at the Rain banner to try and just get his fragments. And we'll see how that goes. But until then, you guys be good to each other. Take care. Hopefully your Dark Visions tickets were better. Let me know if you got anything interesting, or if your opinions on how this Dark Visions went
are different than mine. I ultimately think that having the milestone or the milestone rewards was an overall improvement for the average person. It was a little more fun for me, but I still didn't care that much. Like, there was no reason to push hard. You know, if you either got the units or you don't. And so in that sense, it was less fun. Yeah. Until then, see you guys later.